Hey everyone, welcome to Shimmer Girl Talks. I'm going to talk to the young ladies today, as I always do, because apparently you all are not getting the same messages that I used to get when I was a young woman growing up. It's funny how society has done a flip-flop. When I was a young girl growing up, we were warned about dogs, meaning male dogs. And you don't really hear that anymore because women fought so hard to want to be as sexually indiscriminate, as free as men. 60 years ago, don't I always say that? Excuse me. Men were more apt to be blamed if a woman ended up in a family way unmarried. And the reason why men were blamed back then is because as a society and during that climate, it was assumed that the man sweet talked or love bombed that woman out of her panties with promises of I love yous, possibly we're going to get married, when all he wanted was sex. So back then, that man had to marry that woman if she ended up in the family way. Or if he was just that ratchet and did not want to step up to the plate, another man was quickly found to marry that woman and then raise that child as his own. The thing is, women today still want that type of treatment, but it's not the same. You all are not the women of yesteryear. At least the women of yesteryear, number one, that might have been her one body, that guy that she got pregnant with. That's number one. Number two, she was still raised in a time where women were expected to be wives and were raised to be wives. Women today, they might have 1, 3, 5 kids and countless bodies between all of those kids. And you all have made it to where men no longer have to step up to the plate. Feminism did that, actually. And for some reason, the women in our community, y'all embrace it so hard. I don't get it. Honestly, I literally don't get it. To be the most educated, air quotes, and you don't understand this about human nature and psychology is beyond me. You can't say that you're the most educated and not understand these things. As strict as my mother was, I am so thankful for her and my grandmother because they peeped their girls on game about men. I'm talking, 30, 40 years ago. So myself and many of the women in my family, we did not get caught up and in trouble the way a lot of women get caught up and in trouble. And you learn through observation. A lot of things that I come to you with on my channel, I have learned through observation. I didn't have to experience it myself. I've had people try to shade me and say, yeah, that I was this, that, and other when I wasn't. I got eyes to see. I used to work with women who just let any and everything on their bodies. And then, oh my God, I'm pregnant, or they'll celebrate it, but they have no, plans on being with the man that got them pregnant. I still scratch my head as to why the women in our community, women that look like me, don't understand the ramifications of loose lifestyles. And then not just loose lifestyles, but also want the same treatment that grandma and great grandma got. But you all are not great grandma and grandma. You're not. So in a nutshell, 60 years ago, if a woman was love bombed by some creep, he had to step up to the plate, or another man was swiftly put in his place And most importantly, she only had maybe one body, two tops, but most likely one body. And to give you guys a prime example, if you don't want to take my word for it, men love bombing and pretending to be in love with the woman so much until he gets the panty draws and then he's gone. Summer House. And I've talked about Summer House before. There is a woman on there. Oh goodness, I cannot think of her name. It starts with an A, but she's a black woman and she seems to have a penchant for the most basic of brads. But this is not a interracial whatever. The guy could be black and I would still be bringing this up. She would allow these men to be lovey-dovey with her and pretend so hard. I want you, yeah, we're this and we're that. And then she would finally give in and he's gone and she's left scratching her head like, wait a minute, weren't you just here telling me how much you cared for me and loved me and you got my lady bits and now you're gone. And see, and this is another thing about women devaluing sex in their bodies. It's just sex. Who cares? That does not end well for women most times. Men can get on a body, 100 bodies, and walk away unscathed. That doesn't work for women. And this is how a lot of you end up being tripped up and jaded and bitter. It's not a flex to have a bunch of men on your body. It really isn't. And if you observe the world around you and see women that do this, you see a lot of them are not happy about that. Oh, they'll try to pretend that they are, but they're not. But that was my topic for today. I've been wanting to kind of address that for a while. Ladies, if you want what grandma and great grandma had, and don't come at me about no DV, because I'm so sick of y'all equating grandma and great grandma as being DV victims when that's not the case in most cases. And real quick, the least likely to marry, y'all have the most negativity about marriage, which is astounding to me. But that was my topic for today, and I'll talk to you later.